when the firm is experiencing large output, producing large output, and the average cost of production is decreasing. So there are many different things related to economies of scale, internal and external economies of scale. And the concept of this economies of scale, this means that the firm is still producing a large output, but the average cost of production is increasing. Not a very good sign. Economies of scale is always beneficial because your average cost of production is decreasing, and then you can sell your product at a low price. Diseconomies of scale, negative concept, where the it is really expensive for you to produce. Okay, so the first question says the retail store Woolworths has expanded the range of products it sells to include sweets, toys, compact discs. What term describes this change? And there are four options given: diversification, integration, merger, specialization. What will be your answer? The chat is open. Diversification. What about you, Abdul Karim? So diversification, A is the correct answer because the firm is producing wide range of products. So as I told you that diversification is the opposite of specialization. Diversification is done in order to spread the risk. So if the firm is producing, you can answer quickly like in 10-20 seconds. What is an external economies of scale? The options which are given over here: buying machines from other companies, carrying out research with other companies, lending money to other companies, and selling output to other companies. What will be the external economies of scale in this case, in these four options? Yes, I can only give you 10 seconds to answer for this of that. Uh, you know, yeah, B is correct. Why? Because the research, you are having a mutual cooperation with the other firms in that particular industry. What is an industry? Collection of firms who are producing the same product. That is an industry. So external economies of scale means that the entire industry is getting the benefit. So it means that carrying out research with other companies that will benefit each and every firm in that industry, and their average cost of production will decrease because they will become more productive when they have external economies of scale. Okay, next question is, what is a feature of economies of scale but not diseconomies of scale? Pick up your answer and answer in the chat. Large output, but the average of cost of production is minimized. That will never happen in the diseconomies of scale. So in the economies of scale, they will lead to falling average cost. So average cost of production is decreasing in case of economies of scale, but not in the case of diseconomies of scale. So C is the correct option. Very good. Let's move on to the next. Only 10. Take it. Now pick your answer for number 26. What is always true about multinational companies? Options are given. Only 10 seconds for this answer. So if I see the options, they employ more workers abroad than in their home market. Uh, they operate in manufacturing industry, not always true. They originate from developed countries, uh, not always true. Countries like Bangladesh, you can be a multinational company. There will be multinational companies and less developed countries as well. So the correct option is they own production facilities abroad. They have productions in more than one country. So D is the correct answer for this. This one. You picked. Okay, it's yeah, Ryan, what is the answer? Limited hardwood forest for export. Viable diet. It allows profits to be exported. That will not be good for the less developing countries. It conserves scarce resources. There is no conservation because they are cutting the trees. It ensures long-term future growth in living standards, and the D is it increases employment. What will be your option? A clear option answer is given over here. 27. It will generate employment. It will create jobs in that economy. That's why they will allow the cutting of its forests by a multinational. And multinational is doing it for them, and they are exporting that also to other countries. It means that the government has allowed a multinational to use its resources, but that resource will be exported. So through the exports, government will also gain money. That is also one thing. But the uh, impact which is there right away, that it will create jobs in that economy. So D, 27D. Take. A government, if we pick, for example, B, an increase in the government ownership of land, that will become command or centrally planned economy. If I pick C, an increase in the subsidies to the industries, that is also increasing the role of the government because it is the government which gives the subsidies. So it means that uh, you are moving towards more of a centrally planned economy. D, the fixing of minimum wage levels for work, that is also done by the government. But the question is asking, the government would try to increase the role of the markets. It means that you are moving towards a more free market economy. What is the answer? A decrease in the controls on the imported goods. The government is taking away its control and giving more control to the private producers to import goods and services. A is the correct answer for this one. As I told you that the students who are attending these classes, they are going to get the benefit because this I have picked as the most repeated questions and most important from different topics. Next question, what is the advantage of the market economics? Very easy, that is the easiest question. Pick up your answer. They will never think about that. Option B, option A cannot be the answer. Option B, it ensures the provision of defense and law and order. That is not the role of the free market economy. They are looking for profit maximization. C is the correct answer because in market economic system, freedom of choice for the consumers, freedom of choice for the producers as well. It reduces pollution and congestion. This will never happen in the market economy or in the market economic system because they are looking for profit maximization. Next question. Both of them, public companies are also known as the public limited companies. So that is something which is in the private sector. So this can be the answer. Look at option B. Public corporations and partnerships. Public corporations are owned by the government. So they will never be found in the market economy. What is a market economy? Resources are allocated. Ownership is there from the private producers. Government doesn't have a role. So B cannot be the answer. Public corporations and private companies again cannot be happen. stock exchange and local government schools can never be in the market economy. So A is the correct option. Read the question carefully and then pick up your answer. There are three columns, basically four columns. The first one is year 1, year 2, year 3. First year, second year, and third year. Output is given in units. And the third column is very confusing. It is given output value. It is not the number of units produced. It is the output which is produced in value, how much it is. So if they are producing 10 million output, what is the amount of money of that output? It is $10 million. Number employed means how many workers are there. So for the first one, it is, for example, 5. It is actually 5,000. Now this table is there, and the first one, inflation has increased, cannot be the answer. Why? Because the prices are not given over here. So how do we say that the inflation has increased? Productivity has increased. For productivity, what two things are required? Can anyone answer? Before output produced about the divided by the input. Output produced divided by the input. Now productivity can be calculated. We can calculate. So for example, for the first year, the output is given as 10 and the input is given as 5. So the productivity is 2. For the second year, this is for the first year. For the second year, the output is 21. This is the output. And what is the input? Number of workers, 7. So it is 3 actually in the second year. And in the fourth year, 32 is the output and 8 is the input. So what is the productivity for the third year? 4. So you can see that it is increasing. 2, 3 and 4. Productivity has increased. B is the correct option. We cannot pick C because for profit, we should have the cost of production as well. Why? Because profit itself equals to the revenue minus the cost of production. So for profit, it is the data is not enough. Working population is increased. It has nothing to do with the data which is given over here. So that's why B is the correct answer. And this is just the number of Yes, the answer picked by Amna A, Hani A. Okay. Yes, A is the correct answer because recession means that decrease in the economic activity, decrease in the GDP for at least 6 months. And that is the definition of recession. It means that you are going to produce lesser amount of the goods and services which you are comparing. And especially if they are saying that in the electronics industries, because of the recession, you will come under the curve. And especially electronic equipment will be decreasing. So it means that there will be a decrease in the value of the x-axis. So you can see that if they were producing at Q, mathematically also if you can see, they were over here. So if they are at Q, this much they were producing. And now they are moving over here. Because of recession, they will move under the curve, and over here you can see this. That lesser electronic equipment will be produced. And recession overall will reduce the quantity of the goods which you are producing in the economy. Okay. It is shown. आ जाए टैक्स आ जाए ये तमाम चीज़ें सप्लाई से रिलेटेड हैं when subsidies are given your supply will increase, it will shift to the right side. D is the correct answer. Zainab, D is the answer. I always tell you subsidy tax documents में भी कितनी दफ़ा लिखा जो आपके साथ शेयरिंग की थी proper demand supply diagrams की. Please go through that. In that also I have written that subsidy आ जाए tax आ जाए ये तमाम चीज़ें supply से related हैं. When subsidies are given your supply will increase, it will shift to the right side. D is the correct answer. S2 S2 it will shift from S2, the curve S2. Okay, ठीक है. D is the correct answer. These are the MCQs which I have taken out the students who have joined.